Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Kahololim Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakah Quadash. That's all high praise, honor, and glory unto the Most High God Yahweh, which means He exists, through His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, in the name of He who delivers, right? Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who were well. Salutations to the Akim and the four winds, that's preaching in truth and sincerity, right? To the Israelite foreigners who phenotyped and may look like another nation, but have came back to the fold. Shalom to the sister in Akwaf, listening and in learning and in silence, right? So I had this sister, message me on my messenger, right? And she started off, shalom, hi, and this and this and that, and where you're from and all these things. And, but one thing led to another. I asked her, she had a husband, and then she, started talking about, did I believe in polygamy or polygyny, right? Right. So I told her, yes, it's in the scriptures, right? But not every man has to do it, right? So, this is basically about that. Yeah, so like I was saying, here it is. It's a beautiful sister, gorgeous, right? But your emotions change not the facts. The facts are that polygyny is in the Bible, right? And the facts are the facts, right? But yeah, like I was saying, she hit me up. See, the first thing, shalom. I put shalom back. How are you? I'm very well. I said, very well, and you? And she said she couldn't complain. So glad to know you're okay. That's what I said. So where are you from? I said Phoenix, Arizona. She said, well, nice to meet you. I said, nice to meet you. So where are you from? She said, Ghana, right? See, and this westernized mentality have even the women in Ghana, and not to mention just how they just totally misteach the Bible, right? So what I want to ask you women who think like what this, really Edomite supremacy has taught you, is every man a bishop? Is every man a deacon? Right? That's what I want to ask you. Right? So, and I asked her how bad is it in Nigeria? She's I'm not in Nigeria. I don't know. See, and that's just women just in general. Nothing matters as long as it's not happening to them right in front of their face. See, but pretty soon 7 women are going to take hold of one man, and you're not going to have a choice, right? Calamities is coming. So yeah, you women are going to take hold of one man. That's for real. So I told her I needed a wife, and she needed to move out here so she could be my wife. So then she wanted to ask me if I was in a camp, since certain camps believe certain things. I put, yeah, GMN. So, oh, okay. Then she said, do you believe in polygamy or polygyny? I said, yes, I believe in the Bible. Yes, it is in the Bible. I believe everything that is in the Bible. Every man has to do it? No. Do every man have to do it? No. Every man don't have to participate, but it's there in the Bible. You don't have to participate. Okay. I said, Why do you believe? I don't. But it's in the Bible. Well, it is in the Bible. And every person with logical sense who say they believe in the Most High, women outnumber men. And if the Most High is perfect and you believe he is perfect, the logical thing is what? The logical thing is what? Women are going to have to share men. That's the logical thing, right? I'm calling this lesson, is every man a bishop, right? Because, this so-called sister who says shalom, right? Real pretty, but, the demon spirit of the Western world, or just being mistaught, misled, right? So I told her, isn't King David a man after the Lord's own heart? Surely King David, who's a man after the Lord's own heart, would know not to have multiple wives, right? So she said, I'm not King David. And you're right, I'm not King David, but that's the reason why I'm naming this, it's every man a bishop, right? Because even though, right, the Lord said we're all kings and priests, but every priest is not a bishop. You could be a priest and not be a bishop, right? So this is a true saying. If a man desire the office of a bishop, he desireth a good work, right? It's a good thing. You're working for the kingdom of heaven, for Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, the one who, omnipotent, omnipresent, the one who controls all things, life, death, blessings, curses. I mean, it's a good thing to work for the big boss, the real boss, right? A bishop then must be blameless, the husband of one wife. A bishop must be a husband of one wife. So I want to ask all the women, whoever hear this, is every man a bishop? And the answer is no, right? Even if you're a priest, every priest is not a bishop. It's a certain type of office. Vigilant, sober, good behavior, given to hospitality, opt to teach, right? You don't even look for that in a regular man. The regular man that you saying that needs to only have one wife, you're not looking for him to have good behavior. You're not looking for him to be given to hospitality or opt to teach. He just got to be a man that you like, that you find attractive, and he's so-called sexy or whatever. So the guy just got to be, some type of sexiness to her or whatever, or popular, famous. These are things that women really, really want. You know what I mean? That's really what they go after. Popular, famous. It says 1 Timothy 3:10, and let these also first be proved, right? And you women, you don't prove the men that you with. That's why you're in these abusive relationships, or whatever you say. All men are dogs and all this other stuff. Why? Because you don't prove the man. Because really, your father is supposed to pick the man that you're supposed to be with and prove, and it won't be based on whether he's handsome or he's so-called sexy, or whether he got everything big. You know what I mean? The big wallet and the big in the bedroom, because that's where you women or heads are at. His wallet got to be big. He got to be big in the bedroom, and he got to be popular. This is the things that you want. Not making sure that it's just sufficient, that he's proven, okay, this man pay bills, this, that, where I'll be able to survive. Because And it's coming to that time, and you ain't gonna be worried about any of that. You're gonna be worried if you can make it to the next day, right? And you're gonna be appreciative, right? Then let them use the office of a bishop, being found blameless, right? Right? You women don't look for a man that's found blameless. It just, even so much their wives be graved, right? So and that goes for the men. We're gonna have to start checking these women out, man, proving them, because a lot of them ain't fit to be wives, man. You know what I mean? And that's kind of the reason why a lot of black women ain't married, right? They're just pin cushions, and then you move on. You know what I'm saying? You stick them and you keep moving. You know what I mean? It's nothing more than that, because they're not wife material, right? It says, not slanderous, right? And find a so-called black woman or so-called Hispanic, Native Indian woman, just women in general, but especially when you deal with a so-called black woman, find a black woman who ain't a slanderer, who's not gonna say something negative about her own men, even if you're trying to get into the truth. He believe in that polygyny thing. He believe in yeah. Well, unto contrary belief. You know what I'm saying? Is every man a bishop? You know what I'm saying? Right? Because that's what the scriptures say. Let's deal with the Bible. Right? Slanderer, what? Sober, faithful in all things. And there's a lot of you women that's not faithful in all things, because you can't even uphold what the Bible says. Right? The Lord don't even ask women to do a whole lot. Wear a dress, submit to your husband. That's it. You don't got to do nothing fancy. You don't got to do nothing else. Wear a dress, submit to your husband. And you can't do that. Let the deacons be the husbands of one wife. Right? Ruling, because he's supposed to rule his household. Submitting the wife and the children, as everything is supposed to be submitted unto the husband. You want me to have one wife, right? You can't even submit to me enough that I could actually sit down and teach you and show you what the Bible actually say. You're going to run off because it ain't what you want to hear. Ruling their children, right? And their own house well, right? Because the deacon is in charge over his wife, and the women are supposed to rule over the children. But the deacon, being he's the man of one wife, he rules the entire thing, because he rules over his woman, and the woman rules over the children. And then you have what? Order, right? Yahushua. Matter of fact, let's get that, because that's order. It's 1 Corinthians 11:1. Be ye followers of me, even also, right? And that's will be the same thing if your husband you want him to be the husband of one wife, right? So he's the bishop or the deacon, right? Especially any man is supposed to be, because it tells you that let any woman, let her learn from her husband. So your husband is your pastor, right? Your husband is your priest, or your deacon, or your bishop, if you want him to be the husband of one man. So you're supposed to, you know what I mean? Be a follower of me. Be a follower of your husband, even also am I a follower of Hamashiach. Now I praise you, brethren, that ye remember me in all things. In all things. A woman who's faithful in what? In all things, right? And keep the ordinance as I deliver them. Keep the ordinance as I deliver them. A woman that's faithful in all things, right? But I would have you know that the head of every man is Hamashiach, and the head of every woman, the man. Wait, let's rewind that. And the head of every woman, the man. Yeah, you don't want to hear that. And the head of Hamashiach, Yahweh, every man praying or prophesying, having his head covered, dishonoreth his head. But every woman that prayeth or prophesieth with her head uncovered, dishonoreth her head. Now, who did it say that the woman's head is? The man. You're not married to Hamashiach. Or they would say, Christ is my husband. No, he's not. Right? Right? You women are tagging the Lord with adultery. You know what I'm saying? Name one of those women that even followed Yahushua that had a husband. The women that followed Yahushua didn't have a husband. Even his mom, when his mom came around, his dad was dead. She was a widow. There was no woman around him that actually had a husband. You women are ridiculous. And the scriptures tell you who your head is, right? And technically, whoever you gave your virginity to is actually your husband. But, let's keep going. Oh, yeah. But every woman praying or prophesying with her head uncovered dishonoreth her head, which is her husband, for that is even all one as even she were shaven, right? The Lord said that's so bad. That's like as if you were bald-headed, shaven. If the woman be not covered, let her also be shorn. But if it be a shame for the woman to be shorn or shaven, let her be covered, right? And who's your covering? Your husband. Cover your head, right? And follow. Be ye a follower of me, as I'm also a father of Hamashiach. I mean, it's that simple. You know what I mean? Yeah, and that kind of goes to that Isaiah 3 when the Lord said that He should smite you with the crown on the top of your head. Why? Because you're out of order. You're not allowing your man to be your headship. So the Lord is smiting the crown of you women's head with and that's why you don't have hair like you're supposed to, right? Yeah. The thing that it is, I had a conversation before with when it comes to these so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian. I had a conversation with a young lady, and it was about this very thing. And I was saying about the self-proclaimed white man. He had multiple wives, and said, well, he's in power. That's different. So, they're even okay with the so-called white man being able to do it, but you cannot do it, right? They don't want to see you in that, having that type of glory, right? But here it is. We know that the self-proclaimed white man is Esau, Edom. So now these are the generations of Esau, who is Edom. Esau took his wives, plural, of the daughters of Canaan, Adah, the daughter of Elon, the Hittite, right, which are Africans, and Ahalabama, the daughter of Anah, the daughter of Zebon, the Hittite, and Bashemoth, Ishmael's daughter, sister of Nebuchadnezzar, right? So he had 2 wives and basically in a concubine. So, but let's check this out, because here it is, Esau. Yeah, this is Micah chapter 1, verse 1. The burden of the word of Yahweh to Israel by Malachi. I have loved you, saith Yahweh. Yet ye say, wherein has thus loved us? Right? Question mark. When did the Lord love us? Was not Esau, Esau, and it said generation Esau, Edom. Was not Esau Jacob's brother? Saith Yahweh. Yet I love Jacob, and I hated Esau. So here it is. The nation whom the Lord hates has multiple wives, but somehow you can't. Not you. The self-proclaimed white man, because he's in power. Oh, that's different, because he's in power. I was like, that was, but hey, that's how they look. They look at, that's why I said, in the day of our power, these women are gonna get it, man. They're gonna know, because that's what women respect: power, some type of popularity and power, right? And I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and heritage waste for the dragon of the wilderness, which now we know that dragon, well, it was a snake in the garden, and that dragon and that snake became a dragon, which is dealing with NATO, EU, and America, which is the second leg of Rome, right? Right, going back to Rome, actually the initial Rome Greek, or the Roman Greco Empire, which were in the second leg of the Roman Greco Empire, right? But you remember Jacob held fast the hill of Esau, so it's almost like you went to trip somebody up, and you got the one foot, but they put the other foot down to hold the balance, but he's on his way down. That's why the Lord said, he laid his mountains and heritage waste, right? Because the Lord done it before, through the Greco Empire, through the Roman, right? Whereas Esau said, we're impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places, right? Came back, second leg of Rome,
right? Where you're at now, NATO, EU, America, they basically running the world, right? As they did when they were in as Rome, you know, but in debt, just like they were in Rome with their armies stretched out all over the world, just like how they were in Rome with moral standings, not in good standings with the Lord, when man can be with man, and all sorts of crazy stuff goes on, right? You can marry your horse, you can all sorts of things. This was going on in the old Roman, and now it's happening now, right? They're getting ready to go down, but somehow, because he's in power, right? We will return and build the desolate places. We will build we will return and build the desolate places. Let me do it one more time, Salakia. Whereas Esau said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, which means armies, they shall build, right? But I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom Yahweh have indignation forever. So these are the people who the Lord is angry with forever, but he can have multiple wives. Oh, matter of fact, there's another thing I wanted to bring up, because since I'm already here in Malachi chapter 3 verse 6, I am Yahweh, I change not. So Esau can have multiple wives. Like I said, King David's a man after the Lord's own heart. Surely he would have known, oh yeah, there's only one. You can't do that, right? It's in the book of the law. If a man has two wives, I'm gonna have to get that too, right? When did the Lord change? And I believe this is a good place for us, because this is just before you get into Matthew's. So it's like a perfect place for this to be at. It's almost like the Lord said, before you open that so-called New Testament, before you open it, I am the Lord, I change not. Therefore, ye sons of Yaquab are not consumed. Right? Because that's what they want to do. They just want to consume us. See, everybody else can have, they can do their thing. They can have multiple wives. They can have this. They can have their glory. They could be sitting and, and they admire all these other nations, or they admire all this other stuff. But you, who the Lord love, oh yeah, no, you can't have that. Right? Because this is a good place for this to be at. It's just before Matthew's. Watch, let me show you this, because this is Malachi 3. Then you'll go what? Malachi 4. And then right after 4, you're in Matthew's. So that's right before the New Testament. So it's almost like the Lord said, before you open that New Testament, I am the Lord, I change not. Therefore, ye sons of Yaquab or Jacob are not consumed. Right? Before you open up that book, don't think the Lord's changed. Right? This is Deuteronomy 21:15. If a man have two wives, and in Deuteronomy means do means two. Like duality, two, and it's basically it's the second book of the law, right? You got Leviticus and Deuteronomy. Leviticus is the first book of the law, and Deuteronomy is the second book of the law. So this is the law of God. You know what I'm saying? That's why he said, I have changed not. If a man have two wives, so think not the Lord's going to change before you open up that goddamn New Testament and think that the Lord's changed, right? If a man have two wives, one beloved and the other hated, and they have borne him children, both beloved and the hated, and if the first son be of her that is hated, right, then it shall be when he maketh his son an heir, that which he have that which he hath, that he may not make the son of the beloved firstborn before the son of the hated, which indeed is the firstborn, right? So you can't, if you have two, you can't show favoritism because you're more infatuated or something with the other one. You may actually love them, both, but it's just saying one you love more than the other. That's why it's saying it that way. You're not gonna hate her, but if you want to, obviously the Lord just said that you can have one you love, and the other one you hate. If you wanted to, you know what I mean? But when did the Lord change? I am the Lord, I change not. You know what I mean? Yeah, so this is 1 Samuel chapter 13, verse 14. But now thy kingdom shall not continue, right? He's talking to Saul, right? Telling him that he's taking the kingdom from him, and basically he's going to give it to King David. Yahweh have sought him a man after his own heart, right? A man who got to mind like God, like the Most High, right? Heart goes into lob, which is mind, right? You know what I mean? And Yahweh had commanded him to be captain over his people, because thus has not kept that which the Yahweh have commanded thee, right? Saul didn't do in the manner that the Lord told him to rule, right? This is 2 Samuel chapter 5, verse 12. And David, right, which the Lord was going to give it to King David, perceived that Yahweh had established him king over Israel, right, taking it from Saul, and that he had exalted his kingdom for his people's sake, right? For his people Israel's sake, right? And here it is. And David took him more concubines, right? Which that goes into all you women who say about having other nations, right? Because a lot of those concubines be women of other nations, right? And this is King David. So a lot of people go, oh, Solomon, that's what ruined Solomon. Well, King David did it too, but it didn't ruin him. It's just what Solomon did. But King David didn't never let that change his heart or his mind towards the Most High. That's the difference, right? And David took on more concubine and wives, plural, out of Jerusalem after he was come from Hebron. And there were yet sons and daughters born to David, right? Hey, what happened to that? People deal with that begot. Well, it doesn't say begot right there, but it said they were born to David. But yeah, call all Yom Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai Bashem Rekakudash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who were well. Salutation, salute to all the Akim in the four winds, preaching in truth and sincerity, the hopeful elect. To the Israelite foreigners who phenotype, they may look like another nation, but your bloodline goes back to Israel, and you have come back to the fold. Shalom. To Sister Akwaf, listening and learning. Shalom.